Good day everyone, ako si Luigi.
Ako naman si Michelle.
Nandito tayo ngayon sa People's Tambayan ng Hopeful Writer Studios kung saan magtatalakay tayo ng mga important issues natin ngayon.
Ang Hopeful Writing Studio ay nagsusulong ng delikadad at makataong edukasyon para sa lahat ng kabataang Pilipino.
Ngayon, nagsusulat kami ng isang position paper na may temang Reforming the Education Sector. Ang layunin namin dito is kilalanin ang mga hamon sa edukasyon at makapagbigay ng makabuluhang rekomendasyon para sa pagbabago.
To give more context, since nagdaan nga po tayo sa ating post-COVID lockdown, and during the lockdown itself, the reality of learning has shifted. And in the new normal, some of those changes evolved with the learning reality. So we now see more online classes. We now see more students that are not confident in sharing their thoughts in the classroom. Bakit? Because they are used to an isolated environment.
Oh.
So, sanay sila na nakaharap sila sa PC,
Mhm.
sanay sila na asynchronous ang communication between the teacher and the student. And they are always within the comfort of their homes, no? This is not, there's nothing wrong with being in the comfort of their homes, pero if you want to train students into becoming competent citizens in the future, we need to give them exposure to environments that are, of course, outside their comfort zone. One of the very mild examples of this is simply the classroom itself. So kailangan masanay silang nasa classroom, masanay silang lumalabas ng bahay, masanay sila sa nagso-socialize, no? I understand that our generation, I'm not sure how old you two are, pero tayo, we are in our 20s, 30s. So iba yung reality noon sa pagpapasok natin sa reality ngayon ng mga bata. So paano natin ma-address yun? So marami tayong bagay na napapansin na wala dati di naman tayo ganito, wala dati di naman tayo ganyan, pero bakit ganito ngayon? And one of the challenges is that the students are really lacking in confidence. The classroom, I argue, is the environment where mistakes should be most accepted. But when you see students, when you interact with them, gusto mo lang ng input nila, you want their opinion, they are too afraid to share. No? Their own experiences, sarili na nila itong experiences, ha? Tapos, takot pa silang mag-share. Why? Parang takot sila for some reason magkamali. This is their personal experiences. This is their opinions. There can be no wrong experiences or opinions, but we see that they are very lacking in confidence. No, they are how should I say? They are emotionally stunted. No, kasi dahil nga in the 2 years no of the lagging, lalong-lalo na yung mga students I would encounter yung mga emerging socialites natin, the young junior high school students. Dapat nakakapag-explore na sila sa mga simple ideas, pero dahil nga po nag-lag sila during the lockdown, we now see there is this shift of expectations. And one more thing that I would like to add, this is a very important, almost a personal struggle for me, no? It's the grade inflation, no? Grade inflation meaning nagmumura ang grades. So, nagsalita lang si student, nagpasa lang siya, 90 na yan. Ganon. Tapos minsan napababaan pa sila sa, let's say, flat 90, 92, 91. Sir, bakit po mababa? No? Alam, diba you can relate. Mababa na pala ang 90, 91. I am so sorry. Si teacher pa dapat ang mag-sorry. Si teacher ang mag-adjust. No? Yun ang yung
Okay.
sinasabi ko, no, it's very challenging. We have the burden to be humble. We need to accept their reality first. No? And of course, all the melting, it all boils down to that point na dahil nagkaroon ng pandemic, no? If we are not already headed there, in the state we are already in now, the new normal, diba, they made the process faster, bumilis lang. And that is one of the things that we are now experiencing hardship on. So we are now hearing news about this. So alam niyo naman po yung ating recent news on the functionally illiterate. students, no, and how education is becoming more and more relevant in the landscape of politics.
Mhm.
So we can make the connection na from just the way I mentioned it. So sa akin lang naman, yung dalawang yun pa lang ang pinaka-major struggles ko sa ating learning system that includes us teachers interacting with the students through the learning process.
Um, Yun nga po, nabanggit niyo din po yung sa teachers and student, particularly yung nangyari nung sa lockdown. Kasi experience din po kasi pandemic din po yung college ko. Parang hindi din ka pa nakapag-intern before. Tapos nung
Mm.
nag-work na ako, sabi ko, ganito pala yung reality, no? Kailangan mong yung, di ba after po nung pandemic, yung lockdown, nakaharap mo na bigla yung tao, tapos nasa work ka na, natanggap ka na, tapos may mga ganun pala, yung mental health mo din, hindi prepared, kasi since nasa loob lang kayo ng bahay sa loob ng 2 years, so paano pa kaya yung mga high school, pagpasok nila ng college, di ba? So I
Nakakatulala.
experienced that. Yes,
Culture shock nun, iba?
kulang po yung kulang po yung preparation nila sa mental health din, and then yung engagement din sa tao, baka nabibigla sila, ganyan. So, nasabi niyo po sa student, baka meron din po kayong i-add sa mga magulang kung ano po yung mga kinakaharap nila, yung mga hamon ng mga parents natin.
I can only speak from experiences on the students with whose parents I have already encountered with. So, syempre, pabata ng pabata ang parents natin as the years go by, since obviously, no, no, one thing that I am finding out is that parents are sadly in the household. I can only imply, I do not have any solid evidence for this, but I can imply that the parents are very detached from their children. Lalong-lalo na yung mga students natin na not the eldest. For example, walo silang magkakapatid. So, marami na, no? Tapos yung bunso na yung estudyante mo. It's a very, it's a very real case na talagang di na sila pinapansin ng parents nila. Not in a very malicious manner. Hindi naman sa ayaw nilang pansinin. Hindi na napapansin. Hindi na nabibigyan ng panahon. And
Mm.
some students, with regards to their parents, they have very high expectations from their students. I think this adds to their anxiety, no? Kaya sila napababaan lang sa 90 because they are basing their standards from the standards of their parents. I understand that parents can demand excellence from their children. I don't know where that will exactly can come from. It varies case by case. Pero yun po, no, that's one thing. Another thing that I am noticing in from our parents. Our parents today, by the way, mas naging common na po yung millennial parents, no? Where gentle parenting has become the norm. So we also see a lack of discipline among students. They are more prone, or not really, it's not prone actually. They are more comfortable in acting out their intrusive actions. So may gusto silang gawin, gagawin nila yan, no? And of course, dahil nga po dun sa mga detached parents, because of that, we see more students that are acting out. Parang in our industry kasi as teachers, this is a very common reasoning. So one of the reasons a student may be acting out kung bakit sila makulit, bakit sila siga sa classroom, bakit hindi sila nag-aano, is because they want attention. They may not want this into a conscious level, but subconsciously, they may want the attention that is being given to them if they act out, if they miss out on school, or they supplement the attention that is supposed to be given by their parents with the attention of their peers in school. So they always have this demand to be uh, to maintain a social standing. So dapat sa social hierarchy, syempre 'di ba, there is a micro environment sa isang batch. So sa batch na to, sino ba yung pinaka-popular, sino ba yung pinaka-pogi, sino ba yung pinaka-maganda, ganyan, sino yung pinaka-maayos, maganda kasama, sila yan. So gusto nila nandun sila sa mga matataas na clicks.
Mhm.
So um yun lang din, no? Yun na din napapansin ko with the terms of parents, no? There is a lack of actual involvement, no? Significant involvement. It's come to the point na when we try to imply na kamusta po si, halimbawa, si Jam, no? Kamusta po si Jam sa bahay, ganyan. Some parents would already get defensive. Parang, are you implying that I am ganyan, ganyan, ganyan? So we must be very careful during parent-teacher meetings, lalo na kapag napatawag ang student dahil nagkaroon ng discipline case, for example.
Mhm.
So, our parents today, I believe this is a pendulum swing. Kasi dati, di ba, we can hear stories of generations older than us na kung kami makulit noon, talagang papaluin kami. Talagang paluluhurin kami sa munggo, ganyan. So, there is a pendulum swing dahil na-experience nila yung masamang yun. Gusto nila mag-gentle parenting. And I think they haven't realized the consequences of that shift. Rings becoming more relevant as cases and the norm the norm of the classroom is changing with each passing school year.
Makes sense, makes sense.
Yeah.
Para masyadong masyadong nag-course correct.
Mm,
Mm.
yes, yes.
Well, given that na one of the struggles na wala noon or may yung nag-changes before the changes from before and the changes today and the changes to today rather. So how would you say bullying has changed from then versus to now, and kung paano yung style of bullying today is affecting the educational quality na nare-receive ng students?
Okay. So bullying, no, this is not something new. This has always existed ever since the system of putting together a group of, alam mo yun, isang grupo ng mga magkakaparehong edad, as
Mhm.
long as they're in one place, they meet every day, they are not monitored 24/7, there will always be bullying, no? These are human beings, so and as such, their imperfections can arise, no? During moments where no figure of authority is there. So kung wala si teacher, meron at meron yan. So, kailan ba ito pinaka nangyayari? Kapag, ayun nga, wala si teacher sa classroom. Dati to wala si teacher sa classroom. During break time, kung saan ang mga teachers, wala naman siguro nag-rounds. And again, just like our education system, bullying has also emerged. It has evolved along with technology. So, of course, cyberbullying, it has become even more elusive to both parents and teachers. It has become this, it's almost like a separate dimension, no? Ibang dimension na hindi namin ma-access. Kasi kapag andyan ang teacher, nag-iibang, alam mo yun, there's a tendency to show face.
Mhm.
So andyan si teacher, ayos tayo. Um, what are some examples I can give? In my previous school, no, so each advisory class has a Facebook GC with their teacher. So andun ako, andun din sila. It's almost been a common practice na dalawa ang GC.
Mhm.
One with the teacher, one without the teacher. So alam mo yun, mapapaisip ka nila, bakit kailangan pa ng GC na walang teacher? It's very obvious kasi kapag andyan ang teacher, limitado ang galaw.
Mhm.
Pag andyan ang teacher, you are more inclined to, yun nga, magkakita ng tao. Pero kapag wala si teacher, ayan, I've seen many cases na parang yun ang cyberbullying natin sa GC nangyayari. So, message sila ng mga classmate or nagkakaroon ng mga parinigan sa My Day, no? So, in any platform, magkakaroon ng parinigan yan. Gone are the days where bullying has become slapstick. Alam mo yung kukuha ng picture, i-edit nila, post nila sa ano. No, this can exist, no? Pero iba na kasi yung norm ngayon. Medyo ang meta ngayon ng bullying natin ay yan nga, parinigan. It's become a very subtle art, no? Grabe naman sa art, no? Pero it's become this very subtle process,
Mm.
no? Alam ko na magpo-post tayo ng ganito, iglahin natin yung salita ng tama. Sana mapansin ni ganyan. And it actually works. Halimbawa, ikaw yung target, may kita mo yung post niya, parang, ano, wow, ako yung naka-target dun sa ano, matatamaan ka. And of course, everything else follows. Hindi na siya ano, hindi na siya active sa school. Worse, ayaw na niyang pumasok, no? Because sometimes we have online days, tas kapag face-to-face day na, ayaw na niyang pumasok. Bakit? Kasi makakaharap na yung
Nagpaparinig.
mga kaklase niya na yun, di ba? Um, Another thing is, aside from ano it's good that students are socializing. No? They're talking. No, they're talking about anything that has come within their interest. Pero yun nga, dahil nga sa shift of technology, it has become too rampant. Hindi na sila monitored. The content that they consume can come from anywhere na. And of course, we know this as na-expose sila mga certain ideologies. Since they have this access to social media, they want to use this platform to influence other students, and therefore, they are inclined to show their best foot forward. So, yan, they are very appearance conscious, no? And with that, nagiging less confident ang mga students na halimbawa, yung mga hamak na hindi magaganda at pogi, no? We have come to think na, ay, hindi naman kasi tayo maganda, hindi naman kasi tayo pogi. Parang wala tayong karapatan to express ourselves freely. Yeah, there's been a notion like that. It's become very normal. Parang, hala, ilang taon ka na, wala ka pa rin girlfriend, boyfriend, ala, single ka na for life. It's funny at first, which I admit, pero it's become another facet that the students can bank on to grind on the other person, no? As long as it gives them more social leeway, they are more inclined to take this route, no matter how right or wrong this is. And what's worse is they do not even realize the heaviness of their actions, the long-term implications of the damages they can do to another person's confidence, self-image, and other things. Kaya sa bullying talaga, so how do we detect this? Nahihirapan po talaga. Kasi again, it's become very elusive. Kasi due to the advancements in technology, which has been further pushed forward by the new normal. Dahil nga we have more infrastructure for online settings, mas lumawak din ang spaces where bullying can appear and happen.
And with that, how do you think what programs do you think or ideas na pwedeng gawin sa school, ng teachers, ng students themselves, and of course yung parents to ensure na yung online style of bullying is mas ma-detect at of course maiwasan or mapigilan before it gets worse?
Actually, ever since the interview was pitched, I saw the document, and one guide question or one guide point I saw there are policies. Ako kasi personally, as a teacher, I think schools should be a place for free expression.
Mhm.
And students at the age of junior high school up to college should have more freedoms in their media diet, in a manner of speaking. So there is this compromise. So we tend to incline that to avoid bullying, to address bullying, there should be more monitoring. Kailangan may access sa device si parents. Kailangan alam mo yun, parang you're going to demand that the only account that the student has, for example, should be one that adults have access to. But then again, however ideal, however safe that may be, I believe that this can stunt or even drastically change how a student's emotional capacity can develop. kailangan din nila kasi ano eh, naniniwala po kasi ako sa um, learning through exposure. So there is this, parang naghihilahan sila, no? How do we implement a policy that promotes student individuality and freedom of expression while we have monitoring over them to early catch what bullying can happen? Kasi 'di ba, can you imagine the reality of being a student having no privacy para lang sa safety niya from bullying? Or on the other hand, you have privacy, you have freedom, pero you are prone to bullying. So I do not have a definitive answer on the policies, no? But one thing that I can one thing that I can think of, kasi over the past few days actually, nasa likod lang to ng isip ko, anong policy ba yung may isip ko for the interview, no? Pero I can, ano eh, wala talaga eh. It's, instead of making up a policy, I would like to admit, no, there is no definitive, but I just explained why I cannot give a certain policy. Pero instead of enacting a policy, I would like to propose a change of environment. So siguro policy na rin yun, no? A policy to change the environment. An environment where it is inclusive, no? An environment that has very little to no tolerance to sa the early signs, the early stages of bullying. Kasi we can we can say that nag-aasaran lang sila, nagbibiruan lang sila. But the more that this goes on, mas naging komportable na, naging iba na ito. So, if we lessen our tolerance to that, I think bullying cannot happen in the first place. No, what I am saying here is instead of a reactive approach, dahil may bullying na, tsaka pala tayo maganda to, I propose a proactive approach where we create an environment where bullying cannot start. So what kind of environment is this? What kind of environment am I talking about? An environment where students have a certain level of self-actualization. Alam nilang hindi nila mabubuli yung estudyante yan kasi they're confident about themselves. An environment where students are socially and culturally aware. So, syempre, we have LGBTQ students, we have students with learning disabilities, we have students with physical challenges, no? If they are more if they are more knowledgeable about these things, kapag hindi na to bago sa kanila, they are they are more less likely to react to it. Kasi sa henerasyon natin noon, kapag may bakla tayo estudyante, bakla, 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 gano'n. Kaya may ano siya, may pilay siya, pilay, pilay, pilay. Pinagtatawanan natin. It's
Mhm.
very low level. Pero that's one good thing that I realized these days. I've seen students with learning disabilities, intellectual disabilities, and of course, they have different genders, no? We have LGBTQ students at younger ages, and students are now, wala na, normal na yun sa kanila.
Mhm.
It's no longer a cause for someone to bully another student. Parang sabihin, bakla ka, tas ano naman, di ba? Oh, they realize na because the student is self-actualized, there are lesser angles that they can attack from. So, one point, yun na lang, no? Policy that is not definitive for me. I'm describing an environment where bullying cannot exist, not an environment where bullying is addressed, an environment where bullying cannot exist in the first place. I think there are already some bits of that. We can see already bits of that in our education system today. And of course, we cannot deny, no, students are more self-actualized because of their um, access to technology. Saan ba nila malalaman nito? It's not from their parents, it's not from their teachers. Sa teachers kasi nagagaling lang dyan, subject knowledge. Saan pa nila ito nalalaman? From their access to the internet, access to technology, access to each other. The more they are confident in expressing themselves, the more self-actualized they are. And of course, bullying will still exist, but it will now exist in a in a location that is more easily detectable.
Mhm.
Hindi, mapapansin na natin yan eh. So, at the very least, kung may pinagdadaan ng estudyante, they are developing their tenacity of some sort. Not to say that bullying is necessary for emotional development. No. Uh, napapaandar yung isip nila. No, bakit ba ako inaasar? Bakit ba ako ginaganto? No. So, although it's never justified, it it still is catalyst for the shift, yet
Mhm.
another shift for the next generations.
All right, all right. All right, all right. Sige, sige. And with that, Sir Jam, we would like to say we would like to ask you one final question. What's your call to action sa Filipinos, sa teachers, and of course to and of course to the government in accordance with this environment where bullying cannot exist?
So, since you posed three things, I will answer in three parts. From students, the teachers, the government. Firstly, to students, if you're being bullied, I'm so sorry if no one has come to help you. So we are figuring it out. No, it's not that we cannot see. It's not that we do not want to see what you're going through. It's that understand that it is very hard to see the place where you are coming from. You will know this when you grow up and you encounter younger people, people that are younger than you are who are experiencing the same thing. We are going to be working on it. And to other students, like I said, the more self-actualized you are, the more confident you are in yourself, the less things that you can be bullied for. Hindi ka mabubuli kapag komportable ka sa sarili mong balat. Yun lang yun. No? For the teachers, um, again, I will remind my fellow teachers that we have the burden to become humble, and we have the burden to become flexible. Bullying is still another thing that sadly we are not trained to address, but bullying is something that we should be aware of and know how to address. How do we detect this? How do we uh, how do we detect this? How do we address this? How do we know which places to look? The first step is being compassionate. The first step is being empathetic. Hindi natin pwede ito i-dismiss na pinagdaan din naman natin to, magsisurvive tayo. No, schools should be a place where students can be free to be themselves, not at the expense of other students. So, to my other fellow teachers, I hope that we can adapt to this. It does not have to be the next school year. This is unrealistic. I hope that in the following school years, awareness will grow more and more, and ways to address this issue will become more common. I hope that the effective practices that we are doing in other schools can be shared to other teachers as much as possible. And for the government, to which branch of the government are we addressing? Obviously, this is DepEd now, to DepEd Philippines. So we understand that the more pressing concerns of our education system is the actual quality of our education and how we are producing, how we must produce globally competitive learners. I argue that bullying addresses the emotional aspect of our future citizens. So the less they are confident, the more scarred they are at the younger age, and the longer this goes on without being addressed, it will manifest into adulthood in ways that are even more unexpected, even more unseen. Hindi natin alam na ang tao ay ganito ang ugali, ganito ang kanyang mga ginagawa dahil lamang sa pagbubuli niya sa eskwelahan. You may not know, baka may prejudices na ganito dahil yung mga ganitong tao, yun ang asal sa kanya sa school. Baka ganito siya klaseng magulang dahil siya ay ganito sa school. And worse but sadly still holds true. They may have been exposed to crime and illegal practices because of their upbringing, a part of which is the school bullying. No, I understand that bullying is only one variable of a very complex problem, but I believe this is one of the more significant ones that we are addressing, but I would like to say we are not addressing enough. So that's all.
And that's it. Maraming salamat po, Sir Jam Tamayo, sa inyong pagmamahagi ng
Thank you
iyong
so much.
kaalaman at
We
tara.
appreciate you.
Thank you so much po. Kaya't
Okay, you're
naman,
very
subaybayan
welcome.
nyo kami sa Hopeful Writing Studio. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell sa aming YouTube channel para updated kayo sa aming video at mga activities.
Thank you.
Thank you
So,
Stay
and
maraming
stay
salamat.
hopeful. Maraming
Thank
salamat
you.
po.
Thank you so much, Jam. Thank you. I appreciate it. Malaking tulong to sa ating teachers and of course the students. Have a great day. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you
you very
po.
much.